Hey everyone, as you know, I've been thinking a lot about life lately and just what direction I kind of want to take things in and what I want to do with this channel, really. I've been trying to figure that out for a while now, but one of the things I want to do in life is kind of just be like a music producer. Like I want to get really good at mixing, um, and mastering, and I want to be able to like do that for other people as well as like myself, make my own projects. I feel like it would provide me the freedom to work from home. And that's something I kind of like doing. I am a homebody. Don't really like to leave the house, and if I didn't have my girlfriend or my friends in my life, I would be a hermit pretty much. I'd also kind of like to meet cool people with it and like collaborate and stuff like that. Just just get in front of other creative minds. Cause and start like sharing ideas and whatnot. Cause I feel like that's where I work best, really. And then I just kind of want to make music daily with it. Like I want to be in that space where I am just creating, and just doing that, and that's kind of my job. Um, and yeah, I want a home studio for it. I think having a home studio is like a really cool idea. Like I want to be able to like use it, and then maybe like rent it out to people, or like maybe even bring people in and like teach them stuff about studio and studio recordings, mixing and mastering. It's a little bit of a nerdy thing. Is that I just kind of want to like rig it up to my house and whatnot, and like have the sound system like play throughout or something like that. It's a neat idea. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but I kind of that's like one of my long stretch goals in life is to be able to do that. Another one of my goals in life is to just be like a performing artist. Like I've always wanted to play live, I think, for a while now. Like I've always wanted to play like in a band, and I've been looking for that for a while now, and playing like in groups like that in college, and then like having my own band that we like performed back in 2023. Like that felt so thrilling. I felt so alive with that. So I kind of want to like find that again, and like every time I go and see bands live in concert, I'm like, man, I wish I was doing that. Like I I get the jealous bug, but then I'm also like, no, the music is like too good. Like I have to be happy. So at least I can get over that hurdle, but and it's not like ruining my night or anything. But um, I just want to be up there, man. Like I like performing, and it makes me feel alive. And then I guess one of the other directions that I've been like pulled towards lately, I mean, for a while now, like I've always kind of wanted to be a YouTuber and like do something in that sphere. First, it was like Let's Plays, and then I started getting into like the VGM music scene. I wanted to like make covers as well, like do stuff like my heroes pretty much, and then eventually now like more recently I've been kind of like wondering like whether there is something there for me to do like making vlogs or making like educational content, just teaching cool stuff that I learned, or talking to interesting people or whatnot, because I think there's quite a bit I could do with that, and quite a bit good I could do with that actually. So I don't know, maybe I could do something in that direction. I don't know. That's just one of the things that I've been struggling with even now for the past couple months, making and planning out videos. Well, I want to say like maybe like 2 or 3 months. I've had trouble like narrowing down on, okay, this is what I want to focus on right now. And instead my brain just explodes with all these ideas, and I go off in all these different directions, and I'm like, yes, I want to do that. Yes, I want to do that. This, that, and this. And I just don't focus on anything. I can't get anything done. That's kind of why that there was that huge like hiatus, and people probably didn't wonder like, oh, why hasn't he come out with a new video? But like, if you did, on the off chance that you did, um, that's why. So I think I've struggled with like picking one of these like main things to go for just cuz one I haven't known how to get there. Like there's always this disconnect in my brain and there kind of still is like why am I if I knew how to do it, why am I not doing it now, right? How do I get in front of people? How do I gather a band? How do I get people like interested in us? How do I keep reaching out to venues? And the answer is staring me right in the face. Like I know what to do. I have friends who have done it. I can just ask them. But there's that inhibiting beliefs coming into play, and it's like I can't do that. I don't know. I'm too busy doing this other stuff, and that's mainly the reason why. Like I can't pick something. In an ideal world, if I had like so much time in the day, I could do all three. I could be a YouTuber. I'd be able to make, vlogs and stuff and document like me making songs, the songwriting process, or like touring, and then in the studio, being a music producer, maybe doing that on the side for other people because I know how to do it. And then just, performing and touring daily and just, having a fun time, making music that you guys enjoy. That's the ideal. Why I can't do that, I'm still trying to figure that one out. I think I could get there, though. I guess that segues it next into what I want to talk about a little bit, because this is such a work in progress in my own life, is like some of the strategies that I've like found and I've kind of picked up on listening to all these different productivity like podcasts or YouTube channels. These are some of the things that I've found that like I'm actually kind of excited to try, and maybe you could try them too. Something else I struggle with like planning out YouTube videos and stuff is like what kind of content do I want to make? Like do I want to make educational videos? Do I want to make guitar videos? Like guitar tutorials of any songs that I love, to try and encourage myself to learn more guitar? Do I want to focus solely on VGM? Do I want to focus solely on jazz? Do I want to branch out into all these different things? And that's kind of why I've had a hard time with planning this stuff out and figuring out, just posting. I get the analysis paralysis. Overanalyzing, overthinking. I've been an overthinker my entire life, and this is just a recent example of how that's still with me. Alright, so some of the strategies that I've used in recent months to try and get back on track with how I'm thinking about, what direction I want to go creatively and whatnot, have been stuff like journaling prompts. Like a few months ago, I read Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Workweek, and in it posed a few questions that got me starting to think about this and starting to think about, my bigger purpose and what's holding me back from actually achieving that. Some of these questions that were in the book that I asked myself were: 1. Define your nightmare, the absolute worst that could happen if you did what you are considering doing. 2. What steps could you take to repair the damage or get things back on the upswing, even if temporarily? 3. What are the outcomes or benefits, both temporary and permanent, of more probable scenarios? And so I think asking myself questions that are similar to that, or just centered around what I want to do, what I want to spend my time, how I want to spend my time to get where I really want to go, can really help get me back on track on that. So I'm going to try and focus on using some of those more. Another thing is, a couple months ago, I saw a video by Ali Abdaal talking about the book, The 12-Week Year. And that's a very good video explaining the subjects in that book. I would highly recommend going and watching that. Basically, main ideas is to chunk the year into quarters, kind of what businesses do with like quarterly goals and whatnot. Just break down time so that the cycle seems easier. Like there's checkpoints almost throughout the year where I can go back and check: am I really on track? Am I achieving my goals? Am I achieving what I set out to do? And then every 12 weeks, like I can, sort of progress track, kind of similar to what we did in school with each semester. I think without that structure now, as a working adult, it's kind of difficult to achieve those same sorts of, I want to say, same sort of output. And then another thing that's super important about the book is that it talks about having an emotional connection to the outcome and like having some sort of grander vision for where you want to go. I think as long as I keep in mind how I want my life to look like, generally, I should be able to stay on track with that. Hopefully that would work for you. Some people do this in like a vision board. Other people do this by just, daydreaming, pretty much. It is daydreaming, essentially. But if you write it down, it definitely creates a deeper connection in your mind, and you can kind of go back to that memory of what you were thinking about whenever you did write it down. So I think I'll probably focus more on that. And then lastly, I'm going to try and zero in on one thing at a time, using that sort of periodization talked about in the 12-week year. I'm going to focus on one thing at a time. These 12 weeks, let's say March, April, May, going to focus on making X kind of video, or going to focus on making, I'm going to focus on covering these songs, or I'm going to do this kind of content. I think that will definitely help me stay on track. Maybe I could do an update in the future. Who knows? I just wanted to talk a little bit about like my motivation, why I still get up every day, why I'm still in music, even though I don't think I'm like professional or like like really good by any stretch. But I'm still doing this thing because I love it. Yeah, those are some of my goals. Hopefully we'll get there. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't reach those goals. But if you hit that subscribe button and follow along, you're more likely to find out if I will or I won't. So, anyways, that's all from me today. Good luck on any goals that you want to achieve this weekend. And post in the comments what you're working on currently. Like if you feel comfortable sharing that. And we'll work on this stuff together, But yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.